Alright, so I get this question asked a lot. I'm gonna answer it here in this video. Why am I missing open shots? If you need more clarification, I have a whole playlist in the description, anywhere from my favorite bases and releases, the jump shot I use, the build I have, everything. So it'll be in the description if you need it. But let's get into the video, alright? People want to know, and I'm using my 95 sharpshooter right now, why you're missing shots. There's a lot of small reasons, and then there's a enormous reason why. So we're gonna start with the enormous reason and we'll move from there. Unfortunately in 2K, and I know this shit makes absolutely zero fucking sense, you have to have a good jump shot or it's a GG. I know this sounds like something obvious and something you know already, and you're like, Agent, why are you telling me this right now? But you can do everything else in your power to make you have a nice jump shot. If you have a 94 shooting shot and you put on the +5 boost and you have every other thing down, if you have a garbage jump shot, it's a wrap. It's not going in. What you're looking for is consistency. I go into detail about why this is the best release in the game. High school 1 base, hardened release 1, hardened release 2. I have other releases I use. There are releases I use when I'm trying to get shots off quick. There are releases I use for Pro-Am. I use different releases for Park. And so for me, since I play the game a lot, I've experimented with so much stuff. I know what works in certain situations, but the OG one that's gonna work really good, an all-around release, is right here. I'm assuming you already knew that though. The jump shots is easily the most important part. If you look on the outer ring of my player right now, outside of the shot meter, there's a red line that surrounds the player. That's his hot spots. You already know about this shit. Hopefully you want to get red hot spots all around. Now there's a glitch in 2K I'm gonna warn you about, so I save you a few hours right now, where if you didn't play My Career in a while and you hop on and you get a My Career game in, your hot spots might reset to all blank. And then it's gonna take you at least like 3 12-minute quarter games to get your hot spots back. And if you're not a sharpshooter and you can't pull from these distances contested and you have to actually find yourself open, even if you're playing on rookie difficulty, it might take you longer to get the 3-point hot spots. So this happened to me, and this is why I'm trying to save you all the time. And I had to go back and get all the hot spots all over again, which is a grind. So basically, to make the hot spots, you just have to make 10 shots in each region on the court. And if you need to know where the regions are, let me head to stand players. Here it is. So in all of these spots on the court, you want to have at least 10 shots made. If you miss a shot, it works against you. You're trying to get insane percentages on these spots. So you see I had 80.9, 82.5, 79.4. The percentages I have are astronomically high. That's because I was grinding for badges and I know what the fuck I'm doing. But for you, it might be 50 or 55 or 60, especially if you're playing against lockdown opponents. When I played, I made sure I skipped games against players that have those defensive badges that fuck up your badges, so I'm not trying to deal with that at all. So get this on point. This is a major key. Yo, I know they patched the fuck out of it. All right, I'm very well aware they patched it to the nether. It's looking ugly now, but go ahead and get it, y'all. If you want to be able to shoot, get deep range Deadeye, and I know even sharpshooters don't get it, but mid range Deadeye. So you want to get both of these badges. I know mid-range is a grind, especially because it's easier to contest, etc. And if you don't know how to get him, again, link in the description. There's a playlist, badge tutorials for all the sharpshooter badges. And yo, a low-key badge no one talks about, but pops up so fucking often, is difficult shots. That's part of the reason why I like Shot Creators so much, is they have this badge, Hall of Fame. You want to get this badge by all means. In fact, don't even complain you're not shooting well until you get this badge here. And if for whatever reason, if you like to dribble a lot and you're always out of energy, Tireless Scorer is another beautiful one. So these two are probably the best badges outside of the 5 Hall of Fame badges if you want to shoot. I mean, there's other ones that play a huge role. I love pick and roll maestro. I'm not calling for screens often, but it activates a lot. You gotta love those badges that activate all the time. And so this next one is only gonna come through practice, and this can be shot IQ. I know this sounds like some real basic, Agent, but I see sharpshooters so many times pulling up for shots where if you played the game enough, you would have already knew that that shot is reckless and you don't want to pull up for it. Through all the patches, 2K has pretty much made it easier for all archetypes to shoot threes, whether you're a glass cleaner, a lockdown defender, a playmaker, or a sharpshooter. So it's possible. If you're any of the archetypes with a 60 or a 55 3-point shot, you should be consistent in the corner. And I know it says you have a garbage 3-point rating, but I've seen it happen. I play with people that make it happen. And so if you're not doing it, your excuse shouldn't be your rating. The corner should be money for almost every archetype if you have your 3 points upgraded max to a 60 or a 55. And God, if you have a 94 or a 91 and you're a sharpshooter and you're missing in the corner, major problem. And any problem that major is only gonna come back to your jump shot. You have a garbage jump shot, so no matter how good you're releasing it, even if the shit is an all white bar, you're missing because your jump shot is garbage. It shouldn't work that way. It should be the shot meter should work like a shot meter should, but it's not the way it works. And so instead of just pretending that it doesn't exist, you have to adjust for it, which is why I gave you that jump shot. You play the game enough, I mean, you'll see me pull up for some reckless shots that are just low percentage shots, but it's because I release the ball so well, so many times, that even a low percentage shot is like an average percentage shot for me. But when I'm playing a serious game, I'm not pulling up for craziness. I know the shots I'm supposed to take. I know the shots I'm not supposed to take. And until you can tell what your percentage is gonna be with a good release, then you can't expect to be a phenomenal sharpshooter. Now, that's going over the top though. If you're open, I'm just saying, if you're open, you should be banging. After patch 7, there's literally no more excuses for archetypes to not be able to shoot, and it's not just a 3-ball. In fact, mid-ranges are so abnormally easy to pull up and make, it's crazy. And if you have mid-range deadeye, difficult shots, it makes life so much more easier. If you pull up for shots within the little 10-foot radius, they almost always go in. It's crazy. You can have bad releases, you can have a garbage jump shot, but it gets so easy down there, especially if you have your hot spots down and you have badges. So for whatever reason, if you're not pulling up consistent from 3 and you can't pull up consistent from mid-range, there's something you have to change. 3 is a little bit more difficult. Of course it's gonna be. But mid-range is so fucking easy, it's crazy. If you have a 70 mid-range, you should be shooting consistent as all else. You see that garbage ass release? You see that little, it wasn't even a full white bar and it went in. That would not have went in on the 3-point line. And I know that. It went in again. It's so easy on the mid-range. There is no excuses for mid-range. Check this out. If I purposely release like fucking garbage, I think I could shoot 50% from mid-range. Even if I purposely fuck it up. Look at this. The release doesn't matter much on mid-range. I mean, of course you want to get it on point anyway, but these are awful releases I'm purposely fucking up. And they're still going. Look at this shit. Guys, I'm very well aware that this game doesn't make a lot of sense when it comes to stuff like this, but it's the rules. And on the same note, because I made a video about this, if you're not a shot creator and you have like a 70 or like a 80 moving shot 3 and you're not pulling up for them because it's not a 91 for you, then you are out of control. Those shots right there, I know I missed it right there, but they're incredibly consistent if you can get the release down. I made a video dedicated to it, but those moving shots are actually money. And so I know, especially if you're a sharp, you're like, why would I shoot a 72 shot when I can shoot a 91? I know, but there's times where you're contested and you don't have a fucking choice and you gotta pull reckless. And it definitely takes a lot more practice to learn the moving shot than it does to learn the standing shot. Easily. And then of course the obvious one y'all know is you gotta actually practice your jump shot. So even if you pull up the jump shot that I'm using, if you release it like that right there, I'm actually really surprised that went in. If you release on some garbage shit, yeah, it's not gonna go in. There's cues you have to look at, which is why I made a whole video dedicated to it. And you actually have to practice the shot. And once it's ingrained in your muscle memory and you can do it without even looking, then you can shoot phenomenal from all around the court. So here's the basics, all right? Some of this shit is obvious and it should be obvious, but it's obvious for a fucking reason. It's the most important stuff you have to do. If you're wondering why you're not hitting jump shots and you don't have your hot spots and you don't have a clean ass jump shot, if you haven't practiced your jump shot, if you don't have the badges, now there's ways to shoot consistent without all of that. If you just have a jump shot open, you can shoot consistent, but you're not gonna be open all the time. There's gonna be sometimes people closing out on you, clock's gonna be down, you're gonna have to pull up for a mid-range. Are you gonna make the shot? Is there gonna be a green light? Of course, you could be a bitch-made individual and run some fucking boosts. I was a bitch-made individual. I put on some boosts for the Pro-Am tournament because I thought they were gonna work, and it doesn't work for the Pro-Am tournament. It does work in Pro-Am, so I was like, if other teams are gonna boost, I'm a boost. So if this is what you wanna do and you have VC or money to blow for whatever reason, put on some fucking boosts, all right? A +5 won't hurt. So now that 2K is not tuning and patching releases all the time like they were when the game originally launched, you have absolutely no excuses for why you can't hit your jump shots no more. Is Agent gonna bang? That was a bad release. Woo! Agent's gonna bang. Those step back pull-ups are something serious. And so I'm gonna leave it at that. If y'all enjoy, make sure to drop a like on this video, right? Again, playlist in the description. I go into deep detail on some of these topics because I feel like they deserve it. It's really weird how they have shooting set up in this game, but you gotta adjust or else you're gonna be shooting bricks and then you're gonna be like, why the fuck? I'm open. And so if you want to avoid going through that, there it is. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.